Hi guys, welcome to the channel. I'm Trent and this is iRacing. As you can hear, we're in a V12 Mazda. It's one of the knockoff ones that magically found its way into my hands. So I've got a V12, so I'm thinking here I'm going to set the pole lap. I was wrong. I will be starting the race from second, but here we go, the race is about to begin. So here we go then. We are second on the grid. What I thought was a pretty decent qualifying time, but apparently not. So we're second. Here come the lights. Revving the arse out of this Mazda, and away we go. A lot of wheel spin, which you get anyway from this Mazda, and he comes straight across to defend the inside line. Come into turn one. Nearly pulled out a second lead to the car in third already. And as you can see in this video, it's just me and David that pull away from the pack, really. It's just me and him, and then he begins to pull away from me. So the first lap we get pretty close. We're looking for a mistake. That's what we want, because these cars are so evenly matched. And there's not an awful lot of overtaking place. There's a mistake there, right onto the back of him, coming down the final straight before the final corner. The slipstream effect just no good in these slow cars. I mean, we're only doing 100 miles an hour down this straight, so into the final corner, and he's got it a bit wrong, but I'm also going deep, so I just have to let off a little bit. We're coming onto the back of him now. We've got a better drive out of that corner. I'm trying to do the cutback here,
the next car, the leader, clear on the right.
And we just can't get the job done. Okay, coming into the first hairpin. It's an awkward corner, this. I don't think you'd... I certainly don't take the same line every time through there. A bit too much grass there. I lost a little bit of time. We're going to go for a lunge. Bit of a late break in here to try and get on the back of him for the... take a bit of a toe down the back. But he's just pulling away now. And that was pretty much it for this race. 10 laps I think it was. And sort of 2 laps from the end I started to close in on again, but it was too little too late. And yeah, finished second.
Minute 3.886.
The pace is probably about half a second off what you'd expect as well. And this is it. This is us coming around the final bend to take the checker flag. So starting in second, finishing second, a completely uneventful race really. Didn't get any mistakes, which is always good.
Checkered flag, checkered flag. Nice run, solid work.
So here we go then, race 2. And again we've qualified in second. Just sitting there in anticipation, waiting for these lights to appear. And there are the lights. And off we go. More wheel spin. I don't think it's possible to get away off the lights with that wheel spin on these cars, but it comes off the inside, which everyone does coming off there. But he makes a little mistake, it's a little wide, tries to capitalise, can't quite do it. And this actually turns out to be quite a good battle between me and Blanco. That corner would be a pig. I would just tend to, don't brake going into it, just a little let off, wait for the bump and then power back down. Come down to turn 11. Trying to stay as close as possible. At the moment, I get a second away from me, it's kind of difficult to get that time back. into the final corner, is all over the curb. Decided to take that one with 4th. Normally I go into that corner at 3rd, got down halfway through. Show him at the inside just to
Next car is the leader.
try and make him make a mistake really, but it didn't work this time. It's quite a hard place to overtake. Now that first corner, probably your best bet. You can do it here, but people close the door very quickly. Just run a little bit wide into that corner, but it doesn't seem to hurt us too much. Just stay on the track on that one. Going back down to turn 11 again, trying to go a little later on the brakes, and he's made a mistake. He's gone a little bit wide, so we're trying to get right up behind him now. Get that toe, if there is such a thing, down this final back straight. I don't have my clutch mapped, which is why you get like 3 or 4 bounces off the rev limiter. For some reason I can't use a clutch and flappy paddles. If I had a stick I'd be okay. We're right in the back of him now, we get a much better exit coming out of the final turn, and he's covered off the inside again. I'm hard on the brakes. I thought for a minute I was going to clout him, but got away with that one. Now we're almost, my rating is almost at 3. I try and go up the inside there, and he closes the door instantly on us. But he runs a little bit wide, we've got the run in. I just let him go here, it's just it'd just be silly just to go into there side by side. It would only end in tears. There's still 7 laps to go, so there's plenty of time to get the job done. Keep sticking our nose up the inside, hoping for a mistake, and as we see we got a mistake there, but he gets a better drive. Off the corner, comes past me on the straight. We can soon move on from the Mazdas. I started playing this, bought this last year actually. I just got a little bit bored of racing the Mazdas all the time. I've come back to it. I'm actually enjoying it a lot more now. I don't know why that is. Maybe because I've got other games that I can play. But
1 minute 4.9.
so we show him the right side and the left side, and I very nearly cut across the front of Daniel behind me there. I think he read what I was trying to do there, and he just let me get on with it, which is nice because he could have stuck his nose up the inside. And we're trying to go up the inside, and we've got the inside here. Again, he's closed the door. So 4 laps in, we're still on the back of this guy. We're doing 1:04s, which is a slow lap time, so this guy is holding me up. Trying to overtake on this track is hard work. You've got to wait for a mistake like that. He's gone very wide there.
On your left. Hold your line. Hold your line.
And I missed my gear there, which brings him back level with me.
Still there. Clear on the left. Clear left.
Slightly later on the brakes than I was. It's very easy to get the tail of the car to come out there, and then you're going round, or you're going to be fighting to try and keep it on the track, and then you're going to lose places. So try not to go into that corner too hot. No. Blanco is starting to get really, really defensive now, and I can see what's going to happen here. He's going to close the door on everything I try, so
left side. Hold your line.
as I close the door on Daniel behind me there,
They're on the left.
didn't go down as my fault. It's just a racing, isn't it? You're going to get rubs and stuff like that. There's not a lot you can do about it. And here we go then, again into turn 11. Just waiting for this guy to make a mistake. That's all we need. Into the final corner. A little bit hot that time, having to counter steer under braking just to get it turned in. Anderson isn't very happy about something that's obviously happened further back in the pack. He's gone deep into his corner. He goes deep into his corner a lot, and that just allows us to close the gap up a bit more, apply a bit more pressure, force him into that mistake. Essentially, that is what we're trying to do here, because we can't get past. The thing with iRacing is you generally do get much cleaner and more competitive racing than you do for like GT Sport, especially Forza. I think that is probably the worst game you could play. Okay, we've got on the inside again here, but he just starts to close the door, and I think better of trying to go up the inside. Seems to get better drive out that corner than me anyway. For maybe he's got a stick and he's using a clutch, which will give you a better gear change. As I've got auto clutch. I have got a clutch on my setup, but I don't have a gear stick. I've only got paddles, and I was saying it's quite difficult to use a clutch and change with a paddle. It's not natural. So.
227. Car on your left.
I'm beginning to think if that is
left.
his actual line through into that corner, but he seems to do it every lap. Okay, we're going for the inside because the line's there.
Clear. Right side.
And there we go.
Car on your left. They're on the left.
The gap was there, I went for it and he closed me off. I don't really think that's just classed as a racing incident where I'm sat. I didn't drift wide to hit him, stayed tight and he came across. I mean, there's a lot of runoff to that right hand side, so he didn't need to close the door like that. The thing is, he was getting better drive, so essentially if he'd have just let me through, we'd have come out of there nose to nose, he'd have had the inside line for the next corner, and I would have had to have backed out. So yeah, I went for the gap, but I personally think that was his fault. He closed the door on me, but I don't know. So we're down into third now. We lost a place because of that, but can't be helped. 2 laps to go. It's a little bit annoying. But this race stayed like this now. I got onto the back end of him, but not close enough to challenge for second. So we took third in this race. But in the next race, the final race in this video, so here we go then. So we have so far had a started second, finished second, and we've had a started second, finished third, and now we're starting third. Could this mean the win? And we're a go. It's not the worst start, but it's not the best either. Try and go late and try and go around the outside here to get a better drive out of this first corner, which just seemed to work. Either that or he backed off.
Still there. Hold your line, hold your line.
Got the inside line, and in the background, they're just all getting obliterated. Smithereens, really. Literally sent himself to the dooms of Mordor. Where Gollum is sat there waiting on his chair to greet him with a smile of 4 teeth. Now into the final corner. Down the back straight. And we're on the back of and as per usual, waiting for a mistake from someone. That's pretty much the only way you can get a move done on here. As we saw in the last one, you can stick your nose up the inside, but that just ends in disaster. So we're very late on the brakes there, a bit later than I wanted to be. Clip both curbs on the way through here. Best line, hard on the brakes, turn in, down to second. And as soon as you see that curb, you can start to open up again. Now this one for me, I just let off, wait for the bump, there we go, and then back on the power. Use all the track to get as much speed out of that corner as possible. Hard on the brakes, down to second, wait for it to curve away, and power on now. There we go. If the video is picking up, but on the sim you can see it. It's kind of sort of compresses down just a little bit, and that's kind of your cue to put your foot flat to the floor. It's this tricky final corner. It is in these cars anyway, because if you're too hard on the brakes, arse end comes out. You're in a world of trouble after that.
1 minute 3.517.
And again, same as the last lap, I've gone into that corner far too hot. Turn 4. Can make up quite a lot of time on that corner if you get it right and the person in front. Because there's so many different lines through there. I don't think there's really a right and wrong. Turn 2 into turn 11. Determined to get onto the back end of this guy. And all of a sudden we've warped into a cheap knockoff F1 V12. Listen to those downshifts, they sound incredible, don't they? Absolutely insane. And this guy's jumped on this warp ship with me. It's quite incredible actually. We've been on a pretty special journey together. But I'll fast forward this because it stayed pretty much the same for a good 3 or 4 laps. And then it starts to get interesting. And then obviously we go back to our boring Mazdas rather than our amazing super fast V12 Mazdas, which the downforce package on this version is absolutely incredible. The speed, absolutely nuts. Squeaky little voice of my engineer seems to have turned into a chipmunk during this time warp. Unfortunately I can't see him, so I can't clarify, I can't confirm whether he actually took up the shape of a chipmunk or not. There's 3 laps left, and we really want that race win. I've not had a race win in 18 starts. Obviously the first probably 6 races of this is probably getting used to the sim, how it handles, because it's a much more realistic sim. Oh, time warp's finished, that's a shame. Okay, so 2 laps to go. Getting closer, I can feel there's a mistake coming. I know there is. I keep showing my nose at the inside, look how wide he's going.
Left side.
And this, I think, I will use my weapon for the next 2 laps. So he's led the race for every lap, which is 8 laps so far. Can we steal that glory from him right near the end of the race, just when he thinks it's within his grasp? Going to be there to snatch it from his arm. But we can see what happens. So here we go then, coming down into turn 11. We should turn that into a drinking game. Every time you hit turn 11, have a drink. I think I've said it about 7 times, but you've got to have 4 fingers worth of drink. So, otherwise it's not worth it if you're just having a mouthful. Bother. Okay, so there we go again, just waving my nose out, just making him think I'm going to try that lunge. People can be too busy looking at you, looking at their braking points, so just showing your nose, even if you've got no intention of going, see, no intention, it brakes very early, so I give it a go, and up the inside we go.
Hold your line.
And we get the move done.
Clear left.
So it's the penultimate lap. He's led for all of the race, and there I am. Just showed my nose at the inside. I had no intention of making that move, but he braked a lot earlier than he needed to. I was just able to sneak up his inside there and get the job finished. I'm in the lead, pressure's on now. Heart is racing at 12,062.1 beats per minute.
Keep it to the right. Clear on the left.
Because I'm on course here for my first race win in 18 starts. The last 3 races I've had a second and a third and a second, so to get the first, the end of a good day's racing, would be good. And here we go then, coming on to the penultimate lap, we've got the white flag. Which I don't even think they do that in England, I think that is an American thing.
1 more to go for the win. Good job, that was for first.
I'm making him up the outside, I can go up the outside if that's what he wants to do. Go defensive before we even start. The braking point as I'm coming down the straight. Turns 2 and 3 into the hairpin. Don't get that wrong. And he tries to turn his nose up the inside there, which is what I did in the last race, but I was a bit more committed than he was. I love that bend. If you get that corner right, it's very, very satisfying, to say the least. And here we go then. Turn 11, have a drink. Tries to show his nose up the inside. There's never going to happen. And here we go, we're far enough away. Like I say, the tow with these cars doesn't really work, and we can bring it home for the race win. But can we? Because the final turn is a bit of a bugger. Down a gear, bit of counter steer. Nice and tight, and end of the curb, got flat to the floor. There we go. My first ever iRacing win. So I'm happy with that. Good result, good clean race between me and this guy. And at this point, I remembered that I had not set up voice chat, so I couldn't even say well done or anything. But yeah, that's sorted for the next race. Anyway, leave me your thoughts and comments. Oh, and watch this quickly. Look, bang! Cheers, mate. Now I get 4 incursions. Cheers, brilliant. Let me know your thoughts and comments. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.